What's up, you guys? So as you can tell by the title, I'm sure, today's video is a little bit different. I don't think I've ever done a video like this on my channel, but it's about that time, to be quite honest with you. This is not going to be a bashing, hateful video. It's more to inform, more so to bring light and to bring awareness and to share my thoughts on what's going on in the beauty community as far as inclusivity. And a lot of you may know exactly what I'm talking about. Some of you may not know what I'm talking about, which is exactly why I'm making this video. And I did talk about this on my Snapchat, but I have my largest following on YouTube, so I definitely wanted to address it on here because it's something that needs to be addressed. Just a few days ago, Tarte Cosmetics launched their Shape Tape Foundation. And when they first announced it, or when it first leaked that they were going to come out with a foundation, a few people tagged me or sent me DMs or Snapchats asking if I was going to do a review on the foundation. And when I found out that they came out with this foundation, honestly, I was really excited about it. I was hyped. I was here for it. Then they came out with, well, Pop Sugar showed swatches of the foundation shades, and that's when I decided it wasn't for me. And also, on top of that, I was actually going to collaborate with Tarte Cosmetics to do a sponsored video for the new launch. And this was prior to me even seeing swatches or knowing what was going to happen as far as, you know, their shade range. If you don't know or haven't seen the swatches, I'll go ahead and include photos so you see exactly what I'm talking about. The shade range is not good. It is not fair, and it is, well, it's very fair, I should say, but it's not fair to people of color. It's really not. And being a person of color myself, being an Afro-Latina influencer, I can't stand for or work with, collaborate with brands, companies, products that aren't including products and shades for people of color. And even if you aren't a person of color, this should still be something that you should be aware of. This has been going on for a while. And especially, and I know a lot of people are saying this, but especially after brands like Fenty Beauty and Huda Beauty and even Kylie Cosmetics, when they came out with the concealers, I know people don't like Kylie, that's besides the point. She still came out with a good amount of shades for people of color. And it would be very different because from what I've seen and what I've heard is that Tarte Cosmetics said that they're going to come out with a second launch. But the issue with that is that the first launch has mainly, I think it's a total of 11 fair to light shades, 2 medium to tan shades, and 2 deep shades. This is based on the swatches that I saw. There are only 2-3 shades for people of color. But if you're gonna do 2 launches, at least make the first launch a little more gradient. And plus, on top of that, I've seen swatches of the deeper shades on people with deeper complexions, and they're either too red or they're too orange, or you have to mix somehow. But even if you mix a red and an orange shade, it's still going to come out super, super warm. So don't just put in shades for people of my complexion and lighter or slightly deeper to have a shade to bronze or contour with. Make them realistic colors for deeper complexions, and take more time with those shades. If it is a little bit harder to create deeper shades, take a little bit more time before launching an entire collection and perfect them before launching a product. Also, Tarte Cosmetics came out with 2 separate formulas. So maybe instead of doing 2 formulas, maybe perfect 1 formula with a nice first launch of shades, instead of doing 2 different formulas. You can see it. It's very obvious in the photos and in the swatches. There's a huge jump between the lighter medium shades to the deeper shades. A huge jump. When I saw the photo of the swatches, I actually laughed. I literally laughed because I was like, this has to be a joke. This has to be a joke. It is 2018, as a lot of us are saying. It's 2018 by this time, especially launching a foundation after Huda Beauty, after Fenty Beauty. Like, they killed it with the shades. Now, I'm not saying that all brands after that, those launches have to come out with shades like that, but don't come out with 11 shades, 11, 10, however many light shades, and only come out with a sprinkle of deep shades. Like, it's just not right. And it's very obvious that they didn't really try to include people of color. Not only that, though, they completely disabled and are basically ignoring the controversy that is going on. So on the photo that they posted about the foundation, they disabled the comments completely and have not addressed the situation at all, besides saying that they're going to do a second launch. And even if they're doing a second launch, I'm still not going to do a review on the foundation. I just don't see the point in the second launch when you can be at least a little more inclusive in the first. And if you're one of the people that is just like, oh, it's just makeup, like it's not a big deal, just try another foundation, or there are many other brands out there, it's not the point. This was, especially this being a huge launch, a lot of people of color really enjoyed their Tarte Shape Tape concealer. Sorry if the audio sounds a bit different. I just moved my microphone, but I think they mentioned something about people's skin gets deeper in the summertime. That's why they're launching their other shades in the summer. People of color are people of color all year round, not just in the summer. So coming out with 2, 3, 4 shades deeper, it's not a thing. And people of color also have different undertones. If you are limited to only coming out with a few deeper shades, only come out with a few lighter shades as well. This would have been a really good launch if there was a better shade selection. A lot of people were already hyped about it because the concealer's good, just imagine the foundation. But then if you put out a picture of these swatches or the limited shades, it turns a lot of people off. Not a lot of people are gonna want to purchase it. Wake up, because people are getting fed up of things like this going on. And when companies do stuff like this, it makes people feel like they're prioritizing fair to light skin tones. And I know some people may watch this video and be like, it's really not that big of a deal. But it is, because there are people who feel a lot more confident when they do have makeup or a great foundation or a great product. And the fact that people are not even getting the chance to try an amazing product just because their shade isn't there, or a shade even close to their complexion that they can work with isn't there, it's not right. And also the whole just mix 2 shades, why does somebody have to purchase 2 $40 foundations just to get the right shade? If maybe this was a brand that was new to the industry, or it was the first launch of any product, or I don't know, something like that, maybe it would be a little more, we would be a little more understanding, right? But Tarte has been in the game for years and years and years. So for something like this, like a brand who's been in the industry for years, it's like enough is enough. The money is there. It's just the effort needs to be there. As an influencer, I definitely want to share something like this on my platform to spread awareness of what's going on. Sure, it may impact, or maybe it won't impact PR packages that I get or brands that I work with, but that's fine, because I'm gonna stand for what I stand for, and I can work with companies who surround that. I'm not going to not talk about something like this just because I want PR or just because I want to work with this brand. No. I won't be doing a review or a first impression or spending my money on the new Tarte Shape Tape Foundation Although Tarte does have other amazing products, I use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, but I won't be doing a review. I'm also not moving forward with the sponsorship either. So yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna touch on for now, but just know that there are amazing brands out there that have great products that do include people of color. And if from here on out, brands that weren't so inclusive in the past, if they do try to be a little more inclusive, I know I see comments sometimes like, oh, now you guys want to include women of color, people of color. If brands and people are genuinely trying, let's try to avoid making comments like that, because then it's going to turn them off to coming out with new products for people of color. I know that now we have really high expectations after like Huda and Fenty launched their foundations, but we can't expect every brand to come out with a shade range like that, but we do need to expect them to be a lot more inclusive than this Tarte Shape Tape Foundation launch. There's a difference between a brand coming out with like only 4 foundation shades, one's a fair, light, medium, and deep, and a brand coming out with, I don't know how many, 15 or 20 shades, and 11 of them are fair to light, and then completely skip medium and jump to only 3 semi-deep shades. It just doesn't make sense. But yeah, that's what I have to say about that. I'm going to link other influencers who touched on this topic as well that I watched. I'm going to link them down below. Definitely check out their videos. I love that a lot of people are spreading awareness on this topic because it's happened for years on end, and it just seems like some companies are not getting the hang of it. And it's not just Tarte, it's many other companies that do this. And I'm just glad that we're bringing this to light, and a lot of influencers are using their platforms to talk about it. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, I guess, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video.